Hello, everyone. How are you? Okay, so this is an energy update, and I am going to read to you something from this oracle group of cards and the Earth Warriors Oracle Guidebook, which I love. And the other day I pulled this card asking, what do you want me to know right now? And when I read it, I was like, everybody needs to know this. This is for everybody in some way during this time that we're in. So first, a quick little energy update. I would say energy's all over the place. From my experience, the last couple days, and so this is on the 22nd, I've been feeling a bit, it feels kind of like anxious, but it's not anxious. It's like something's there. Something's there. It's like you're right in that, like something's going to change but again, it's not anxiety and it's not dread or anything like that, but there's a tension, a something that we're anticipating, I think, or something that you're hesitant about approaching or coming into, um, that's been on my mind, or that I kind of feel like something's going to happen, and it's not necessarily that I know it's good or bad, or right or wrong, etc. But there's just something's going to happen, and it just feels like one of those like life-changing times, right? So that's been coming up, and then like last night, I got woken up in somewhere around 5 or this morning, and it was I had gone through something in my sleep, um, and I remembered it then. I'm not remembering it now. But again, it had to do with like the unknown and how to live in the unknown, how do we be in this, the times that we're in right now. The with so many things changing and so many things, up in the air. Like we used to be able to say, in California, in where are we? January, there's we're not going to have that much rain, and you wouldn't have Santa Ana winds and etc. Like I see everybody over the last year, 2 years, saying, oh, the weather's like this and the weather's like that, and I've kept saying it's not the same anymore. You can't say predict what the weather's going to be like, because there's too much going on in geoengineering and pole shifts and you know the thinning of the electromagnetic field around the earth, and the increase in the sun's EMFs, or not EMFs, and the sun's flaring and CMEs and etc. So there's so much more, and it seems to be intensifying. And as that's, you know, the just those things are becoming unstable, and starting to shift things, and it starts to shift also when the poles shift, and those things are happening from the sun and the electromagnetic field, and we're electromagnetic. We start to feel things in different ways, and we start to shift, whether it's activating new DNA and new cells in our body and coming up with new ways of being in the world or seeing the world, or our intuition and our psychic skills expand, etc. We just have these knowings, and that we transfer in that way, or whether it's the breakdown of our systems that we've been living, our beliefs that we've had, that we are solid in, and that our relationships, or where we live, and or how we live, etc., all of a sudden start to crumble in order to create new. Right? We have the breakdown of the old in order to have to be able to rebuild the new. And so right now in our world, we're having the breakdown of systems and structures that weren't solid to begin with, and have not really been serving the greater good of humanity and of Gaia. And so because of the changes within us, the changes within Gaia, that all of a sudden those things are being rattled, and more people are waking up to seeing the world in a different way, seeing the new possibilities, wanting things to be different, seeing the injustice in a lot of different things, and wanting more equality and the higher best good for all. So anyway, without going into all those details, but that's the stuff that's moving us, the energy right now. So whether you're breaking down or rebuilding new, which you're most likely, all of you are doing both. You're doing both of those. And so this reading, so here's again the card. Now, I'm terrible at pronouncing names and things. So anyway, but be patient with me, and I will spell it if I can't, or even if I pronounce it and I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, I will spell it. But I think this is Amuata. Here, you can see how it's spelled here. And this is the card I pulled. So let me read it to you. So, and again, I'll just say, here's the oracle book that it's from. These are beautiful cards, and I tell you, it's just every card I pull is just amazingly seems to be the knowledge that I need right then. So this card means sage of higher knowledge, and the reason I'm reading this is because I think there's this knowledge I'm passing on will help you in the stage of going through and being in this unknown. And how do we be that? How do we want to be with that? So this calls you to your higher knowledge in that. So with the breakdown and the rebuilding, the breakthroughs of the new rebuilding, and to how to be, it's going to give us a way of kind of how to be with that. Okay. So sage of higher knowledge, seek what feels true even beyond the logical. If something doesn't feel right, challenge it and dig deeper. Educate and inform yourself on matters of importance to you. Trust that your mind is strong and bright enough to do this. Enhance your self-esteem by searching for information and trusting your intuition to help you discern what is useful and true. Have faith in your mental abilities. If others have criticized you or made you feel inadequate in understanding, cast that off as belonging to the past and not relevant to you now. You will become immune to manipulation by others who may be convincing but not necessarily accurate or helpful. Trust the power of your mind to receive and recognize the answers you need. You will find your way. There's more, but I just want to stop here. So one of the things that I have noticed is that there are lots of people who are not looking for answers, who are not researching, who are not being discerning. I'm seeing a lot of people who are just like, yeah, go with the bigger vote. Go follow authority, follow, and I'm not saying to not follow authority, but I'm saying look at things from a lot of different ways. Don't think the one way that you see something is the only way. In fact, we live in a multi-dimensional world, and each one of us can look at the same apple and see it in different colors, see it in different sizes, all sorts of different things that and have a whole different reality about what exactly that apple looks like, feels like, tastes like, and there can be as many of those view perspectives as there are people. So I'm there. I believe there has been something, some information that's been put out there over and over and over again in a very hypnotic way to hypnotize people to not go further than what is said right here. And so I'm stirring up the pot a bit to ask you to say, so when you say like, I don't need to know what that really means. Not taking things just by, people use titles. Just think of how people have used titles. Like, there is marketing. What is marketing? Marketing is making something interesting to you so that you will open it or buy it. Um, then there is marketing that wants to convince you that this is how you should think, and how you should feel. So that a lot of times marketing is all about feelings. One of the things like with COVID was, if you're not playing the game of COVID and getting the shots, then you're a terrorist. You are making other people sick. You don't care about humanity. And that could have been further from the truth for most people that made those, because those were people who did a lot of research. And if you look back and you start asking the people who went and got the shot, most of them would say, did you do any research? And they would be like, no, they just told me. And a lot of people are waiting just for people to tell them what to do, and how to, how to do something. Instead of thinking, do I want to do that? Does that serve me? Asking really strong questions. Why? Why would I want to do this? What is that really for? What is this really saying? Just like a lot of government bills, or just like you and I could be having a simple conversation and we could completely misinterpret what each other is saying. And so it's really difficult to be super clear and receive information in a certain way, because we've all been taught, you know, different ways to interpret things, or our traumas, or the way that we've been brought up, etc., have influenced how we see the world, how we interpret the language, how we interpret even certain words. As we saw in the last 5 years, a lot of medical science language just got changed just like that. The what do I want to say? That they put a different definition to it. So depending on how somebody wants to market to you, they can use different definitions. They can use different pictures with it to get you like, oh, isn't that nice? And they put in cute little puppies and grandmas and all that stuff to make it seem really fuzzy, when it could be something that's just really is going to kill you or hurt you, or not be good for humanity at all, just for a few people. So, so anyway, part of this and what they're saying is using your intuition, using discernment, asking questions like, why is this important? Why is this out here? Why are they asking for my attention? What does this get them? What does it get me? What does it get everybody else? Is that good? And a lot of us are just thinking short term and not long term. So can we think both? Okay, in short term, what will this do? In the long run, what will this do? if more, if people took more time in thinking about those things and having conversations. This is what, I remember before censorship was happening, we could all sit around and have different views and have conversations and say, well, oh, that's a good point. So if we put this with that, that could work. Or that, this is, it would be like, you know, a brainstorming, in business, but you're brainstorming life, you're brainstorming different, laws, you're brainstorming different things that people are bringing up. Um, and so it's really important to think on your own also, because you are not like anybody else, and so you have to think, what, from your perspective. I used to think that because I thought differently, that then I wasn't good at school, or, I didn't, I couldn't write certain papers in college because they wanted me to pick the one point of view. I can't come from one point of view. It's just almost impossible, because that's one of my greatest strengths, is that I can see things from all different perspectives. And a lot of you can. And then also we have gut feelings. We have our intuition or our psychic, like something doesn't feel right, but a lot of us don't trust that. You have to learn to trust that. So I just start questioning. And so I'm going to read more, which will go into this too, but I'd like to stir up the pot and ask you guys, start questioning things, start seeing why is that important? What is it that they're saying that they want for everybody? What is, what is actually going on? Because there's a lot of things out there that are happening that say this is happening, but that isn't what's happening. That's just the title, so you won't pay attention, or they'll create distractions of different things, so you're not watching what's going on over here. So we have to also start having, and not all of us, but those of us who can, and that we can be talking about, have that bigger viewpoint, can look around and see how different things are connected to different things that are going on, and how that supports, again, that's like short-term, long-term benefits and costs to different decisions that we make in our life. And so to start thinking bigger, and to start thinking that using your brain is important, and using your psychic abilities is important. Following is not, does not serve you and does not serve humanity. Making a decision on something does. So just saying that, I don't know, I don't really understand that, I'll just check this box or whatever, right? Or I'll agree because everybody else is agreeing. Because I don't want to stand out. I don't want to be humiliated. I don't want to be different, right? Well, we're in a place right now in our life that we need those differences. We need people speaking up. We need you standing out. And because that's what's going to help create this great new world that we're creating. And if you don't speak out now, it's going to be harder down the road. And so anyway, we'll take it from there. Okay, so going on in a reading. Test all opinions, advice, research, and alleged facts according to your intuition and instinct. Discern that which is helpful, and that which is better cast aside, even if just for a time. Seek information and assistance from those who you feel can assist you, and yet place no human advisor above the ultimate divine authority which guides you on how to perceive through a deep inner knowing. There is always new knowledge beyond existing boundaries of thought. We simply need to be open and willing to receive it with patience, discernment, and trust in the greater guiding power. We have to trust in us. We have to trust in Source, God, quantum field, our higher self. The oracle of Amuata comes to you with guidance that an answer is coming. So this is now what the card is telling us. The answers are coming. We have to be open for it. An important piece of information. When you are centered in your heart, you will recognize it for what it is and know how to perceive. I also want to remind you, Your mind, your brain cannot feel, your heart can feel. We get information from feeling, and then you because that will give us information, and then we can start to put language to it when we start to think about it. Spiritual guidance. Amuata translates as wise one or master in the family of Quechua, Quechua languages. The main language family spoken within the Incan Empire. In the Incan Empire, Amuata was a honorific title given to teachers and children of nobility. This word holds the power of reverence for that from the past, which holds value in the present moment. Let me read that again. So, wise one or master holds the power of reverence from that from the past, which holds value, like wisdom, in the present moment. Intuition and instinct are forms of spiritual intelligence, one arising from the heart and the other from the wisdom of the body. These special forms of knowing are essential for living a wise and authentic life that is tuned into love and truth that flows through our universe. Intuition can help us know without knowing how we know. It can show us an accurate bird's eye, that's what I wanted to say before, bird's eye view of a situation in a sudden flash of insight. Instinct can give us a stark and honest gut feeling about the intentions of another person or the real value of an opportunity. You do not need to have a logical explanation to justify your intuitive and instinctive recognition of falsehood, deception, or other misleading uses of information. These two forms of intelligence are ways of sacred feminine knowing. Then there are logic and intellect, gifts that humanity can also use for great effect. Provided that logic and intellect are not used to cut off from sacred feminine knowing, they play an important role in the creation of a happy, healthy, and fulfilling culture. Finding the correct information in this age, where information of varying truth and usefulness is abundant, is an important skill to develop. We can do this with a combination of logic and intuition. Sometimes intuition and instinct will tell you that a piece of information accepted by others is not true for you, that sacred feminine intelligence recognizes truth and can guide you as to how to use it for your noble goals. The oracle of Amuata comes to you with guidance, suggesting that you take your time to inform yourself. If you have a decision to make, trust your instincts and your intuition above and beyond logic or other people's opinions. But do make sure you obtain the information that you feel is most useful to your decision-making process. Amuata urges you to take care around accepting the opinion or point of view of another, even if that person has been a trusted guide for a time or has many credentials. Sometimes your inner knowing shall encourage you to a different course of action. Even if you have great respect for that person offering their opinion, the universe may simply have other plans for you. If you have ever been put down, judged as not being clever enough, or your intellect has been worshipped and encouraged at the expense of the intuition of your heart, the oracle of Amuata comes to you with a message of healing relief. There are many ways of knowing, and we are all unique in our particular combinations of intellect, instinct, intuition, and insight. You have been created exactly as you were meant to be for sacred purpose. The judgment of others, for better or worse, are meaningless. What matters is that you find your own best way of sensing truth, honoring when something does not feel right, and moving forward when something rings true. And I just want to, there's a little healing prayer right here that I'll do. But I also want to say to you that if we want unconditional love, if we want to be accepted as unconditional love, then you have to accept other people have their own opinions, and that they have to be unconditionally loved, right? It's just like, we're not like, oh, we get to be free and do whatever we want, but you've got to follow my rules, and you've got to show up the way I want, and you have to, you know, agree with me, etc. So that's one of the things that we have to start looking at, and look at why you don't want to research something, why you don't want to look at it. Is it because you don't feel you know how to do that? Is it because you don't trust yourself? Is it it feels like it's too much, or it's over your head? Again, who will the information that you're seeking, does it just affect you? Does it affect your family, your children, your spouse, your friends, the earth, etc.? Think about the benefits. Like, it's really important for you to know, even just know both sides, and then kind of go through things, let it sink in, let things sink in, meditate on it, just kind of like get your instincts and start to see what naturally will come up, because this is not a natural thing. A lot of this, using your intuition and being discerning and stuff, is not taught to a lot of people. It's like, follow me, do it my way, or the highway, and so we're having to learn how to use our intuition. What does that mean? Is it okay? Can I trust it? Etc. So there's a lot to learn there. Okay, so the healing process is find a place to relax, and then say this prayer out loud. So I'll say it. I'll say it so you can say it along with me, or you can then hear it, and I'll put it written out under this video. I call upon the grace of unconditional love and the truth of the divine mind to empty and cleanse my mind and emotional body from fixed opinion, half-truths, and deceptions. May I trust and be patient so that I can see and know the highest level of truth available to me. May I give and receive peace, enlightenment, and helpful, accurate communication. May divine light shine bright and help all beings find their way. Through my own free will, so be it. So now you just relax, close your eyes, think about that, take this in. I think this is great. Maybe I'll do a weekly read along with if the energy update isn't take up a lot of time. Blessings to you. Until we meet again. Hang in there, surf those waves, become a really good surfer of the energy, letting it go, being in the present moment, and opening your heart, letting go of what you don't need, and practice what we just talked about. And practice unconditional love for yourself and for others. And start learning, growing, researching, and it's going to open your world. It's going to open up there's a whole thing that different realities that's going to open up for you, that is very exciting. So looking forward to creating with you. Until we meet again, love, live, and matter. Take care.